The first time I heard the word marriage spoken in the same sentence as Galactic War, I thought it was a translation error. I was standing in a circular chamber made of living crystal, thousands of light years from Earth, surrounded by beings who looked like legends pulled from a dream. Their skin shimmered in shades of sapphire and pearl, their eyes glowing faintly like distant stars. At the center of them all sat King Tharion of the Elendari, an ancient alien civilization that had been at war with humanity for 6 brutal years. And I, a human diplomatic engineer, had just been told I was the solution. The conflict can end, the translator droned in my ear, struggling to keep up with the layered harmonics of the Elendari language. There is one condition. You will marry our daughter. The chamber went silent. I let out a short, stunned laugh. That's not funny. No one laughed with me. The king's gaze was heavy, ancient, and unblinking. This is no joke, human. Blood has soaked our stars. Your fleets advance. Our worlds burn. Only unity will end it. And your idea of unity is me. I gestured at myself. I repair stargates. I'm not royalty. You are respected among your people, the king replied. You saved the Aelios corridor. Billions live because of you. Symbols matter. A chill ran through me. They hadn't just picked a random human. They had chosen me. 2 hours later, I met the bride. Princess Serelith stood alone on a balcony overlooking a violet ocean beneath a sky filled with double suns. The wind lifted her long silver hair, revealing delicate bioluminescent markings that traced her temples and arms like living starlight. She did not turn when I approached. So, I said awkwardly, I hear we're getting married to stop a war. Her breath hitched, just slightly. They did not ask me either, she replied softly. That surprised me. I had assumed royal duty meant unquestioned obedience. Yet the sadness in her voice felt painfully human. I never wanted a throne built on corpses, she continued. But I also never wanted a husband chosen as a treaty. I leaned against the railing beside her. For what it's worth, I didn't want to be a diplomatic sacrifice either. I just wanted to go home. She finally turned toward me. Her eyes were a shimmering pale gold. Beautiful, yes, but more than that, burdened. Then we are both prisoners of peace, she said. The wedding was scheduled for 7 days later. 7 days to transform a complete stranger into my wife and a war into an alliance. Those 7 days felt like an eternity compressed into nightmare speed. Every moment was training. I learned Elendari customs, rituals, forbidden gestures, political history, and the deadly consequences of offending any of the great houses. Serelith and I practiced ceremonial movements together in vast echoing halls while armed sentinels watched from the shadows. At first, we barely spoke. Then, one evening, after the lessons ended, we remained behind in the training chamber. The silence stretched between us. Do you hate me? She asked suddenly. The question stunned me. What? No. Of course not. Because I hate this, she said quietly. I hate what they are turning us into. I hesitated. Then I told her the truth. I'm scared. Not of you. Of what happens if we fail. She studied my face. Then we share the same fear. From that moment on, something shifted. We began to talk not as royalty and envoy, but as two people crushed between star-sized expectations. She told me about her childhood beneath glass oceans, about learning diplomacy before she learned to fly. I told her about Earth, about rainstorms, crowded streets, and how strange it was that my fate now rested among alien stars. Trust was slow, but it grew. 3 days before the wedding, the first assassination attempt happened. We were walking through the outer gardens when the sky folded open in a scream of hyperspace distortion. A strike drone Elendari design, stolen, emerged and fired before the guards could react. The blast hurled Serelith and me into the crystal fountain behind us. I shielded her without thinking, the shock ripping through my body like fire. Guards swarmed, tearing the machine apart mid-air, but the damage was done. As medics dragged me away, Serelith clutched my hand with desperate strength. "Do not die," she whispered. "Not for their politics." I smiled weakly through pain. Funny. I was starting to think I might want to live. The attack changed everything. Security tripled. The king accelerated the wedding. Rebellion among the great houses became undeniable. They would rather see the war continue than allow a human to sit beside the royal bloodline. Serelith came to my medical chamber that night. No guards. No ceremony. Just her. "They will try again," she said. "And next time, they will not miss." "Let them," I said. "Peace is worth fighting for." She looked at me for a long moment. Then she said the words that reshaped everything. "This is no longer just duty to me." Neither of us said the word love. But we both felt it forming. The wedding day arrived under a sky of falling meteors, a traditional sign of rebirth in Elendari culture. I stood at the altar in ceremonial armor light as silk and bright as dawn. The chamber was filled with alien royalty, human diplomats watching nervously from behind energy shields. Serelith entered wrapped in living starfire. For a heartbeat, the war felt far away. The vows were spoken in both languages. Our hands were bound with a ribbon woven from Elendari neural fiber, a symbol that our minds, not just our bodies, were linked. Then the world exploded. The great houses struck with everything they had hidden. Warships emerged inside the planet's orbit. Defensive grids shattered. The wedding chamber shook as explosions lit the sky in burning arcs. Panic erupted. The king drew his energy blade. "Take her. Run." I grabbed Serelith's hand and sprinted as the palace began to fall apart around us. We escaped into the lower city as orbital fire rained down. Sirens screamed. The sky burned purple and gold. Rebel forces flooded the streets. The war had come home. "They will hunt us," Serelith said breathlessly. "If they kill me, the treaty dies." "Then we don't let them," I said. We reached a hidden launch bay where a single stealth craft waited, my escape vessel, prepared by human command as a contingency. The rebels caught us at the ramp. I turned to face them with nothing but courage and a stolen pulse rifle. They were many. I was one. Then Serelith stepped forward. Light erupted from her markings, blinding, ancient, and terrible. The attackers froze as a psychic shockwave rolled through them. "I am the blood of Elendor," she declared. "And you will not decide my fate." They collapsed, unconscious. I stared at her in awe. "You could have ended the war yourself." "No," she said. "I could only destroy our people. Peace requires more than power." From orbit, we watched the final battle unfold. Human fleets arrived through the Aelios corridor. The Elendari loyalists clashed with rebel houses above the burning world. The war that had lasted 6 years ended in less than 1 hour. When the last rebel ship fell silent, the galaxy exhaled. I turned to Serelith. "It's over." She lowered her head against my shoulder. "Then our real marriage begins." Years passed. The Human-Elendari alliance reshaped the balance of power across 3 spiral arms. Trade replaced destruction. Borders softened. Cultures blended. Serelith ruled not as a conqueror queen, but as a bridge between worlds. And I, once a simple engineer, became something stranger than a hero. I became the husband of peace. We still argue. We still misunderstand one another. Our cultures still clash in ridiculous ways. But every night, when we stand beneath twin suns and alien stars, I am reminded of the truth that forged our destiny. They said only one thing could stop the war. They were right. It just wasn't the way anyone expected.